This place reminds me of Santa's workshop.
Well, ain't this place a geographical oddity?
I'll tell you, mate, if every town in the world were like this one, no man would ever feel unwanted.
Travel oddities.
Odd spot.
Welcome to Odd Spots on the Travel Oddities podcast. My name is Amy, and my co-host today is the grinning from ear to ear, Brett Manzer.
Yes, I am here to serve thee, and you are the that I'm here to serve.
And I think you're drunk.
I am not drunk, with power, perhaps.
It is Oddtober, Brett.
It is. I don't even know what day this is.
Weird.
It's almost like we pre-record this.
You're a dork. It's the 18th.
Is it?
It is.
If this show comes out on the
I know,
15th,
right?
I'm going to piss.
Hold on. It's the 18th. It's on my list as the 18th.
Okay, this stays in. This stays in, by the way. We're not cutting this out. So we've been doing it. We've been just, I mean, it's like, I don't know. Have you seen the video of the cocaine packaging machine that's like just packaging like little packages of cocaine, just like boom, 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 boom?
Well, no, I haven't seen
That's
that.
us. We're the cocaine packaging machine
Where
of
do they have cocaine
podcasts.
packaging machines?
Dude, somebody's job got eliminated so they could package these little baggies. Look it up. They pour the cocaine
I'll
in the
Google
thing
it.
and they hot seal and it's really cool.
Are
But
you
anyway,
serious?
my point is we're packaging some podcast stuff like we're in the cocaine business.
I'm
I don't know.
fascinated by your cocaine making machine or your cocaine packaging machine.
I am more fascinated about
Do you
cocaine
speak
type
Spanish?
money.
Do you speak Spanish, Bradley?
Speaking of cocaine, cocaína. Dos aquí, por favor. Pinche. No, that's my extent of
Okay.
Spanish.
I would like to apologize ahead of time to any of our listeners who do speak Spanish or are offended by bad Spanish pronunciation.
Now, hang on a second. This may be a first
Yes.
because Harley and I mean, we are.
You guys are totally okay with massacring any language.
We swing a broadsword. We don't paint with a broad brush. We swing with a broadsword when it comes to these pronunciations. So the fact that you're apologizing, I feel like the Travel Oddities podcast has evolved into something, I don't know,
Oh, I think we're all
special.
grown-ups here. You
Yeah.
know, we're going to tell you about a character. What is she?
I don't know.
We're
What
going to tell you about
It's like you're
a
dancing.
spirit,
You're dancing
a
around it.
legend that I did not hear about until I moved to Oklahoma.
Really?
Yes, did not. So today we're going to talk about Llorna. And I know to say Llorna
No.
because a friend at work said, okay, you have to pronounce it properly. And we spent about 10 minutes pronouncing Llorna.
Llorna.
Yeah, you're in so much trouble.
Okay.
Llorna is very famous in the southwestern America.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Mexico, on into South America.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular. Now, whether Llorna, we'll say this ahead of time, whether or not she is a legend that was made up that you tell your children to keep them from harm,
Mm-hmm.
or if she truly is a real thing.
Why do I feel like, and we're not stopping here, but I
Uh-huh.
feel like we've done a news story on Llorna.
I think you have.
I think so. We called her Lorna. I think that's what
I think
that's
so.
how bad we are.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the legend. Head
Because
to
see,
toe.
there are multiple legends.
There are a lot of legends.
Okay.
There are lots of variations, but the basic story of Llorna tells of a beautiful woman named Maria who drowns her children in a river as a means of revenge against her husband for taking up with a younger woman.
This sounds like, and I love Marty Robbins, by the way.
I do too.
Do your homework, people. If you don't know who Marty Robbins is, he's got a great album of just songs about, and this kind of reminds me of like some Marty Robbins tune.
Down in the West Texas town of El Paso.
Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
Afterwards, after she kills her children, Llorna drowns herself in the river once she realizes that, oh my goodness, my children are dead. But she is challenged at the gates of heaven over, hey, where's your kids at? And she is, that's basically what they say.
There's they're TSA agents at the gates going, no,
Sorry,
we know you had kids. God said he saw you.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
So she is denied entrance into the afterlife, and she is forced to walk the earth for all eternity looking for her drowned children. Once she finds her kids, she can go to heaven.
Really?
Yes. So she cries constantly, hence the name Llorna.
But that fits most description of normal women, doesn't it? Give me a high five, guys.
Really? Really? So Parents often use the story to keep their kids from wandering out at night. She's said to hang around rivers and arroyos and gullies.
I like that. I like when you do that.
What?
Arroyos.
Hey.
I went over with a fine tooth comb. Go ahead. I'm listening. Please continue.
In some versions of the Llorna tale, she will kidnap wandering children who happen to look like her kids. She asks them for forgiveness, then drowns them to take her own children's place.
Like, I'm not taking my kids anywhere near the water.
Right.
I don't need...
Your kid's 18. I think he can go without you.
If you ask me, no. He can't.
People who claim to see Llorna says she appears at night. What?
Sorry, I get a little this thing in my throat.
People who claim to have seen her say she appears at night or late evening, like at sundown, by lakes and rivers. Some believe that those who hear the wails of Llorna are marked for death, but those who escape in time are not marked. Similar to the Banshee legend.
Yes. Ghost mamas, they're a passionate group.
Very much so.
Yeah, I'll tell you, between the ghost mamas and the lady in white,
yes,
they're persistent.
Yeah, very much so. Or the gray lady. Yeah.
Or the red lady in Crimson Peak. You ever seen Crimson Peak?
Don't ask me about another movie.
This movie came out within the last 2 years.
No, I haven't seen Crimson Peak.
This is... Okay, real quick. I'm just going to say something and we'll go on.
Okay.
What's the name of the podcast?
We are the Travel Oddities podcast.
Okay, what do oddities? Ghosts. You're a ghost fanatic. Like, when somebody says the word ghost, it's like the temperature drops 10 degrees. If you get what I'm saying. Doing. You need to watch ghost movies.
You like tacos?
I do.
If you go to Toys R Us, you can buy these little plastic fake tacos.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to have real tacos or the little plastic fake taco? Do I want a movie about ghosts or do I want to see ghosts? Do I want a movie about a scary cemetery?
What can I do with the taco?
Or do I want to actually be in the cemetery?
What can I do with the fake taco?
You're a ghosty perv.
Yeah.
So, Llorna is said to cry, "Oh, my children," which I'm not going to go into the Spanish version of that.
Do it.
I didn't perfect that.
Adios mío.
Ay, mi hijos. I don't know. Anyway, it means, "Oh, my children."
Sounds like it.
So I found a very classic version of Llorna, which, by the way, Llorna means the crying woman.
Really?
Yes. Long years ago, in a humble little village, there lived a fine-looking girl named Maria.
She's fine.
Some say she was the most beautiful girl in the world. And because she was so beautiful, she was pretty vain, thought she was better than everyone else. Grew older, her beauty increased, as did her pride in her beauty. Anyway. So as Maria got older, she became more beautiful. Her pride grew also. When she was a young woman, she wouldn't even look at the men from her village because they weren't good enough for her. She would say, "When I marry, I will marry the most handsome man in the world." So one day, a dashing ranchero came into her village, very wealthy son from the southern plains. He basically, they fell in love. They got married. They had several beautiful children and eventually got tired of her. She was kind of vain. She was kind of annoying. So he took up with a younger woman and one day Maria and her children were out walking along the river, and he and his young girlfriend essentially came riding by. He climbed down from the carriage and he hugged his kids and told them he loved them and didn't even pay any attention to Maria. So he gets back in his carriage, rides off with his young girlfriend, and Maria was so overcome with angst and anger at him for doing such a thing that she drowned both of her children.
Man.
Yeah, pretty harsh, man. She drowned both of her children and then afterwards drowned herself.
I don't know. I think in this day and age, she would have been like taking selfies and her kids like drowned in the water or something. And then he pulls up in like a convertible and gets out. Well,
you make a joke about that, but
it
is a very frightening thing.
It is.
And this is, a very, very old story. And it's sad that it's still something that we can relate to now. We can still understand it.
There was a local lake, and I don't mean to get too far into it again, but Lake Ulaga. It's up northeast.
Right.
My aunt and uncle were there. I think it was, I want to say Labor Day weekend. And there was a group that were having a cookout and kids left in charge of kids in the water. Never a good idea.
Never a good idea.
And there was a 6-month-old on the raft. And basically what happened is the kids turn, look, and the baby's gone. They don't know how long she'd been gone.
Yeah.
So people, of course, rushed to try to figure out where she went.
Right.
Obviously, not obviously, but she did succumb to drowning. I mean, It's just, those type of things happen. I mean, I just can't even, and that's the other reason why I avoid lakes and things, just because it's just sad.
Well, and that's what the legend of La Llorona basically does, is it's used to warn children to stay away from the water, stay away from the rivers when you're not surrounded by adults and accompanied by someone responsible. So,
I don't even have to meet her to know. I don't get in, I don't know if we've talked about it, but dark water situations.
Yeah.
Now, Lobo from Project Archivist loves dark water. If I can't see the bottom, I just always feel like something's going to, the movies I grew up with, the movies that I give you shit, but the movies you don't like are the movies that molded this human being that's like afraid that Jason's going to pull me under, or that radioactive earthworms are going to enter my body. So, yeah, I have a healthy fear of just, I don't need her to tell me to stay. I've been staying away from the water for 25 years, so we're good.
Remember the Freddy Krueger episode where the chick's in the bathtub and the hand comes up between her legs? Mm-hmm. That traumatized me as a child. I was terrified to take a bath forever. I didn't like the bubbles in it because I couldn't see where he was coming from. I was traumatized.
What about when she's talking on the phone and the tongue comes out and goes,
"Oh my gosh,
I'll be your boyfriend, Nancy."
Or the one of the Freddy Krueger movies where his hand turned into needles.
Yes.
And the little holes in her arm were all sucky and weird. Dude, I was traumatized by those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrifying. So anyway, La Llorona, do you think it's a real thing? Do you think it's just a legend?
There are a lot of, I'm not saying similar legends, but it's well known that parents have said things over the years to deter their, some people believe that, and I'm treading lightly here. Some people believe that hell was created to deter children from being. So it's not uncommon that parents would create something, but I think over time, you either believe it or you don't. You're either all the way in. There's no gray area there, because if you grow up believing it, then it's true. If it's just one of those things where you hear it in passing, you're like, oh, that's, it sounds like a fun, scary story, but that's kind of where it ends. For me, I think it's a great legend. I don't dispute that it happened, but I'm somebody that show me the death certificate, prove to me that there was give me some facts.
Okay.
Like hard evidence.
Hold that thought.
Sure.
Do you believe in tulpas?
I do.
That a group of people can think and concentrate so hard on a concept that they can create an entity.
Stone lying in. Yes.
I believe that, La Llorona is possible. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm not going to doubt that at all. I'm not going to question whether or not it happened. She actually drowned her children. I don't know.
Right.
However, I believe that with all of the people who have consistently told their children over the years that if you go down to the river by yourself, La Llorona will come and get you and she will drag you to the water and drown you. I believe that if you take all the children that were told this, and you know that things like that can strike fear into the hearts of children.
Right.
If they think about La Llorona, why couldn't they, as a group, independently thinking of this, create La Llorona?
I don't disagree. I think you're right. I mean, but also think there's always plenty of room for a fun little, story. You know what I mean?
Certainly.
I mean, when you're sitting
Campfire
around.
Tales.
Yep, Campfire Tales, exactly where I was going with that. I mean, I think that will always have its place.
Right.
But again, I'm somebody that comes from the touch it, smell it, feel it. You know what I mean?
Right. You like a little more proof.
I like a little more proof.
Yeah.
And in my experience with things of that nature, things I can't explain, but I can tell you what I felt. I still have questions, but with something like this, I think it's a great legend.
Yeah.
I think it's a great story. But these are, and I'll say this, and I'm not poo-pooing anything, but there are cases of La
Llorna.
Llorna, throughout the Southwest.
Very much so.
Everywhere. It's not always Maria.
Yep.
There's a lady in white.
Yep.
There's a lady in red, black. I mean, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Crybaby bridges all over the place. And I'm not saying that none of those are real. I just think with stories like this, it kind of lends itself to, like I said, a campfire tale to me.
Certainly.
So, I mean, that's, my opinion.
I think you should go to the river by yourself.
Take me to the river.
After dark. Dip your toe in the water, Banzer.
Dude, I won't do it in broad daylight. Ask this cat over here.
We have been trying to do an episode on the Oklahoma octopus. Ulaga Lake has an octopus.
Yes, it is.
The Thunderbird in Oklahoma City, or Norman, I guess, has supposedly has an octopus. And Brett won't put his toe in the water.
I will not put my toe in the water.
He has let you down, listeners.
I will.
I do apologize.
Not even 31 days. Maybe after 31 days of October. Can we get past this first?
Yeah, let's do it in December when it's ice cold.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, 31 days of October, we're in full effect and full swing. Find us on Facebook, Travel Oddities Podcast, Twitter, Travel Odd Pod. Give us a call on the odd line. Tell us your Llorna. Do it. Llorna. I'm not going to roll my...
That works.
Good enough. Tell us your Llorna experience or your My Sharona experience. Anyway, 31 days of October. It just keeps trucking. This is Brett.
This is Amy.
We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
TV. Check. Cosmic Arc cartridge. Check. Power. Yeah, power.
Cosmic Arc is a game cartridge for the Atari video system.
Meteor! I got it!
The Cosmic Arc searches out strange creatures on distant planets. But the deeper the arc travels in space, the tougher it gets.
We may never get back to Earth! Boy, when you're out, we're back.
Cosmic Arc by Magic. The video system must be bought separately and connected to the TV by your parents.
All right, Odd Spots, no filter. That's right. We're going to say whatever the fuck we want. I'm Brett.